So the Tomb Raider event just dropped out of the blue. Ubisoft just dropped it like dropping Dingleberry in the lake. It's shit, and nobody saw it coming. Except for leakers and data miners, of course. Now, I don't even know if that analogy makes sense. Whatever. The point being, the update is pretty lacking, and you can certainly tell from the reaction of the community. It's almost like a pattern lately, isn't it? Ubisoft drops something that is either a disappointment or a straight slap in the face, followed by mass backlash or complaints from the players. For me personally, the problem is less with the content being underwhelming itself, because I believe they shouldn't put Tomb Raider in Ghost Recon to begin with. So for me personally, the less time, resources, and manpower they spend on this Tomb Raider Easter egg treasure hunt, the better. Also, I wasn't expecting much anyway. Now, I'm not saying the community does not have legitimate complaint on how little content there is in this quote-unquote update, because what is there isn't impressive at all. And I can totally understand why the community is frustrated. I mean, finding 3 rocks for a pistol, a tank top, and a pair of sunglasses? Nah, it's not gonna cut it. If this is what Ubisoft had planned for the crossover, they might as well not do it at all. But I do think there are bigger underlying issues here, other than not having Lara Croft's booty shorts. The real problem I see here is that Ubisoft Paris, or Ubisoft as a whole, does not understand what kind of content they need in their games, especially Tom Clancy games. In my opinion, the problem here is twofold. First, is the type of content they choose to put in this game. Second, is how they implement these content. Case in point, this Tomb Raider event. Now let's start with the first part of the issue. The fact that they released a live event almost 2 years into this game's life cycle that is based around treasure hunting and focuses on looting chests and solving mysteries shows that Ubisoft Paris is still clueless. Or at least there's still a couple of numbnuts over there at Ubisoft Paris who still believes this game's original vision back in 2019, which focuses on having players explore all the nooks and crannies of this beautiful, vast open world, discovering its lores and secrets, while also discovering cryptocurrencies in ancient Spanish treasure chests. Like, how does that even work? And more importantly, that vision was a total flop. It's a military shooter. It should not focus on exploration and discovery. It's not Uncharted, it's not Tomb Raider, it's Ghost Recon. Playing as a US operator, my job here is to advance US interests at everybody else's expense and make sure everyone in my way is dead. I'm not here to sightsee, I'm not here to build my own retirement pension. Or maybe that's what Nomad's doing. I don't know. There were already treasure hunt side missions and collectibles in the base game, which I don't think most of the community cared about. And now what did Ubisoft do? They decided to do a crossover with Tomb Raider, a game that is all about treasure hunting and discovering mysteries. Unless Ubisoft has some cross-promotion deal with Square Enix, which obligated them to do content like this. Otherwise, the Tomb Raider crossover really shows that Ubisoft may very well learn nothing from the launch and year 1 of this game, and they still don't understand what type of content makes a Ghost Recon or a military shooter game. DLCs like Red Patriots and Ember Sky, they were just course corrections forced by community pressure. And a team over at Ubisoft Paris, maybe, still firmly believes in their original vision of Ghost Recon being an action-adventure game instead of a military shooter. And you gotta remember, both DLCs are stemmed from other Tom Clancy titles. Now this means there's a good chance that Ubisoft Paris simply does not have the ability to design original content for a military shooter. So that was the first part of Ubisoft's content issue, which is that they don't have a clue on what kind of content they should release for a game, or if a game should be released at all. Anyway, if you look at my gameplay, you can see I found a treasure hunt side mission while doing the treasure hunt live event, because when I was playing through the game, I just couldn't be bothered to go through all these pointless, boring treasure hunts and finding collectibles, and a lot of players probably didn't bother with these side missions and collectibles as well. Now, I don't have hard data on this, but considering these types of activities do not support the main narrative and do not provide any further insights into the situation we're in, I doubt that there will be a lot of players who give a damn. They just don't make sense under the context of a military operation. Like, given the context of this game, you're stuck behind enemy lines with an enemy that is far superior to you in every single way. You wouldn't risk exposing your own position by wandering off and looking for Spanish gold. But Ubisoft, in their infinite wisdom, decided to double down on the discovery aspect of this game and give us more treasure hunts that doesn't make sense and it's not really fun. And with that out of the way, let's move on to the second part of Ubisoft's content issue. That is, with the type of content they decided to release, what gameplay feature and experience come with this content. And also, how much of these content or playtime are provided with a certain update, like this live event. So, what kind of gameplay do we got in this update? Well, basically you go to a cave, you find 3 rocks, you go back to the cave, and mission accomplished. I think it took most people 20 minutes to do, and I believe you can do it in 10 minutes flat. It basically boils down to, you go to a cave, you push the interactive button, then you fast travel to 3 other places, push the interactive button again, and then you go back to the cave and push the button one last time. Riveting stuff. Now somebody said, oh, it's an Easter egg hunt. It's not supposed to be much, and you're supposed to find them yourself. And to those people, I say get shafted. The problem is not the players don't play the game as intended. When the quote-unquote gameplay here is not fun and not engaging, and the only things worthwhile are the rewards, naturally people go online and look for the exact location of these objects. They did the whole thing in under 20 minutes and call it a day. I mean, sure, you're supposed to follow these hints and discover these locations yourself. The problem is, these hints are very minimal. If you really only go on with these hints without good prior knowledge of the terrain on the map, you're very likely to spend a long time wandering around the map for nothing. This is not real gameplay. This is padding, and it's probably one of the worst kind. This is the second part of my problem with Ubisoft's content. Not only do Ubisoft use exploration and discovery as an excuse to pad out the game, they also fail to see the players can easily go around them and just finish this content in no time. And because actually go and search for the treasure is lengthy and boring, the vast majority of the player would just fast track the process by looking up the locations online. Now, I have defended Ubisoft in the past regarding why Teammate Experience Update had no content. I basically said that the Teammate Experience Update was not meant to bring content to the game. It was rather trying to improve on the game's mechanic. I'll link the video on the top if you're interested. Anyway, with this live event however, there's no excuse because this live event is meant to bring content to the game. It's meant to give players something to do. And out of all the possibilities, Ubisoft basically gave us a fetch quest and padded out by having the players travel across the map. There's no creativity and it's a failure in designing some basic gameplay. They didn't even utilize some elements they already have in the game to create a little something with actual gameplay. And even the treasure hunting stuff they do have has something wrong with them. Look at this last location you need to go before we unlock the chest. It's off the coast of Gollum Island, and it's a location that is already marked on the map. That means it's very likely that the players have already gone there before, or they go there by accident without going to the cave first and find the last part of your treasure hunting quest before they even started it. Like, even this pathetic padding fetch quest, they couldn't do it right. This tells me that either there's no passion left in Ubisoft Paris for this game, or they're just stretched really that thin that they can't provide anything worthwhile in between major updates. But still, even with just this amount of effort, it is possible to make things better. And there were clearly effort went into this update. Like, they still have to create a tab for the event, which I'm kind of surprised about because I was expecting less effort than that. And they also have to create all the art and assets for the tab and the event itself. There's also a teaser for Operation Motherland. So it begs the question, if you're gonna put in effort anyway, why not use these effort more wisely? Like, since you're going to create a few JPEG for the event, right? Why not make it 4 pieces of intel, 1 collectible, and just place them in enemy bases, especially the ones that are underutilized. Have players collect them and then unlock the teaser for Motherland. Why not make this entire live event a teaser to Motherland? Instead, we get this pointless goose chase after a couple of rocks, and then we get a teaser about Operation Motherland that involves Illuminati. So now not only the gameplay is shit, it also fucks up the story. The narrative in this game with transhumanism and super crazy killer robots is crazy enough. We don't need Illuminati in the mix. I just don't understand the thought process and decision making over there at Ubisoft Paris. With this Tomb Raider event, it is not enough to get Tomb Raider fans to look at your game, and it only serves to piss off your existing fan base even more. Like, why make it so that I can individually inspect each of the 3 stones? They're the same picture anyway, without any distinctive descriptions. What's the point in making that? Oh well, whatever. In the end, the update itself might not warrant this much attention, but for me, it could really be a warning sign showing Ubisoft's incompetence and potentially even misguided agenda with this game. Because this update shows that they still don't have a clue on what the theme of the game should be like, and also, they don't know how to make good gameplay. Well anyway, that's just a little rant I got. Ultimately, I hope I'm wrong, and Ubisoft is just too busy making Motherland. I mean, I sure hope Operation Motherland is good when it eventually comes out. And that's probably what we can all hope and pray for right now. That's all I got. If you like the commentary, maybe give it a like. Check back every once in a while. And I'll see you next time. I sure hope next time there's something positive to talk about.